Uh, Dear students, I am Dr. Basavaraj Akki, Associate Professor of History, Government First Year College, Dandeli, Uttar Kannada District. The present presentation is on Robert Clive, his foreign policy, in that his relationship with Oudh and Shah Alam II. This is the topic of Indian History, paper 1 of BA 5th semester affiliated to Karnataka University, Dharwad. His second Governor Generalship was from May 1765 to February 1767. After the victory in the Battle of Buxar, the general opinion in London was that the man who laid the foundation for the British power in India should be sent again to consolidate the power in Bengal. Hence, Robert Clive came to India for the second time as governor and commander-in-chief of the British Army in Bengal. As soon as he arrived to India as governor, then he signed a treaty with the Nawab of Oudh. Let us see what were the conditions laid down in the treaty with Oudh. This is also known as Treaty of Allahabad, signed on 16th August 1765. Clive's first and foremost task was to settle and define relationship with the defeated powers. He proceeded to Oudh to meet Sujauddaulah, the Nawab Wazir of Oudh. He signed a treaty of Allahabad. According to the treaty, Sujauddaulah was confirmed in his possession on the following conditions. The Nawab agreed to surrender Allahabad and Khora to the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. In return, he agrees to pay rupees 50 lakh to company as war indemnity. A resident was appointed at Allahabad. So this is the natural condition laid down by the Britishers in any of their policies. This can be seen even in the subsidiary alliance system later on. Why they appoint a resident in the Indian states? Because through him they can know the political developments or his personal relationship with other kingdoms. As a result of this, a resident was appointed at Allahabad. He confirms Balwant Singh, Jamindar of Banaras, in full possession of his estate. The British empowered to protect the political interests of the Oudh and got the free trade right. The British agreed for the military help in case of the Marathas or Afghan attack upon Bengal. These are the conditions of the Treaty of Allahabad with Nawab of Oudh. Let us see the settlement with Shah Alam II, the Mughal Emperor at Allahabad. This is also known as the Treaty of Allahabad, signed in August 1765. This was the second Treaty of Allahabad, signed by Clive in August 1765. The terms were Shah Alam II was taken under the protection of the company and was to reside at Allahabad. He was assigned the Allahabad and Khora, seated by the Nawab of Oudh. The emperor in turn issued a firman dated 12th August 1765, granting the company in perpetuity of Diwani of Bengal and Bihar. Orissa, in return of the company, making an annual payment of 26 lakh to him and providing for the expenses of the Nizamat of the said provinces, which was fixed at rupees 53 lakhs. Here, Diwani means the collection of revenue and looking after the civil courts. Nizamat means looking after military reforms or military affairs and criminal cases. Thus, by signing these two treaties with them, Robert Clive made Oudh as a buffer state in order to protect himself from the Afghans led by Ahmad Shah Abad Ali and the Marathas. He made the emperor as a pensioner and useful rubber stamp to the company. The emperor's firman legalized the political gains of the company in Bengal. So this is the photograph of Robert Clive and this is the fainting of Shah Alam granting Diwani rights to the company. This is the end of the session.